The topic for today's discussion is Arrive Alive, and with me is ACP Daniel Julius Aboga, Commander, MTTU, Ghana Police Service. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
What do you mean by the term Arrive Alive?
It simply means that when a driver sets up on a journey, be it a trotro, a taxi, any cargo moving vehicle, we want him, when he set up on a journey, to be able to arrive safely at the destination. That is the essence of the caption of the theme for this year's National Road Safety Campaign. Actually, it was launched by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, John Mahama, at a village at Gomuamampong this year. And the components are that all the stakeholders in the road traffic management, that is under the National Road Safety Commission. The stakeholders are the MTTU for enforcement, DVLA for enforcement and licensing and registration of vehicles, the Department of Urban Roads, Highways, and then the National Road Safety Commission itself, that also ensure education on road safety. We jointly and severally took responsibility to try to educate drivers generally. We tried also to make sure that they understand the signs and signals that are on the roads, and we are trying to make sure that they understand the beneficial use of the laws that are inherent in the Road Traffic Act and regulations.
Okay. With you trying to educate drivers on the signs and road signs, basically who is actually required to drive a vehicle?
A person who has attained the age of 18 years under the laws of this country is qualified to apply for a driving license, a learner driver's license, and from the age 18 and above, the person can then go on under tuition and then acquire the skills, that is the basic skills of how to move a vehicle on the road, which entail adherence to all the signs and signals that are in the highway code and within the road traffic regulations.
But we see some drivers cannot even read the road signs, yet still they have the driver's license.
It is true that some drivers cannot read and write, but previously, under the traditional norm of people becoming driver's mate, by attachment to their drivers, they get to understand some of the road signs. In fact, without ability to identify a certain quantum of road signs, you will fail the test. And so even those who do not know how to read and read and write, they understand some of the signals and the signs that are on the road. When you talk about the signs, you are talking about markings on the ground, you are talking about warning signals that are put on various roadsides, and then informatory signals that warn you that you are getting to a junction, this is the name of a town, and then also prohibitive signs that prohibit you from doing certain things.
But what we want to find out is, these drivers, most drivers, are not even patient at all. What they normally do is they don't even have time to wait, and just a few 30 seconds waiting can save a lot of life. Yes, still they run into people. What do you have to say about that?
It is true. Impatience and intolerance, which is a cardinal discipline that every driver should actually cultivate, is missing on our highways and roads. People cannot follow simply a queue that is moving at the pace of 20 kilometers per hour. They are tempted by the power of a four-wheel drive or the impatience that is mounting in their passengers, and so you see a driver driving a trotro rather zooming past on the verge or the shoulders of the road. And then some also do not actually have the patience to follow a slow-moving heavy truck on the highway, and so want to dare overtake 6 or 4 or 6 vehicles at a time. So intolerance, impatience, and inability to actually exercise some self-restraint is an element of discipline that is missing in the driving industry, hence the carnage we have on our roads.
Is it right for drivers to drive on the shoulders, on the lanes? I mean,
I already mentioned that it is a serious offense, and the penalty is over 2 million cedis. 2 million cedis or 240 Ghana cedis. That's the minimum penalty. Previously it was 1,200 Ghana cedis, but that fine was reduced under Act 761, and it is now the minimum penalty if you drive on the verge of the road is 250 Ghana cedis, and it can be more depending on the consideration and assessment of what you did by the judge who has jurisdiction to impose penalty.